All right, the Alabama crew is headed out for another mountain bike trip, this time the Arizona Trail. We'll be riding north, starting in Patagonia, Arizona, and ending up in Saguaro National Park outside Tucson. We're back with our friends at Hermosa Tours for logistics. We've been with them multiple trips, and as always, a great time and awesome camp setup. After picking up bikes and supplies, we're headed south to Patagonia to start on the AZT. We'll be on passage number 4 to start the day.
No real navigational issues. It's all brand new trail. Higher up, you will reconnect to some of the old existing trail. There, I'll have a chair with some pink tape on it. That's where you hang a top left off the trail and we'll go to
And campsite for night 1 is near the Apache Springs Trailhead in the foothills of the Santa Rita Mountains. Well, it's morning of day 2 of the Arizona Trail trip. Started yesterday just outside of Patagonia and did about 20 miles on some of the new sections that have been cut about a year ago, I think. Really pretty amazing scenery, a lot of stuff I've never seen before, never ridden, never been in this part of the country, so it's really cool to see the desert and live oak trees or scrub oak, maybe juniper trees. I didn't realize they could get that big. Here's our campsite over here, and getting ready to pack up and start on day 2. I think we got another 20 miles or so today, and it looks pretty good. Again, the same in the 70s, a little bit of overcast today, so we'll see. But good day to be on a bike and on the Arizona Trail. And here's Finley hanging out with us.
Okay, so day 2, it's kind of unfair. You'll do more descending, but you'll do about the same amount of climbing. 21 miles as like I said, I'll have the chair there. Again, it depends on what chair with pink tape.
Day 2 starts with some nice single track alternating between desert grasslands and forest of pinyon pine, juniper, and oak trees as we make our way towards Gardner Canyon. After a series of short but steep switchbacks, we rolled into the historic Kentucky Camp. The camp was built in the early 1900s by the Santa Rita Water and Mining Company and served as the offices and residence for the mine employees. Camp for night 2 is in a remote valley in the foothills of the Santa Rita Mountains again. Definitely a welcome sight after a tough day of riding. Day 3 started with climbing right from camp. First part of the morning seemed like a whole lot of up, but after a series of punchy climbs, the elevation started dropping into a flowy single track all the way to the Sayaniga Creek Nature Preserve. The second half of the day, we made our way north towards Colossal Cave. The first hour or so after lunch was fairly tame single track.
There we go, that's the way to do it.
As we made our way over the Saguaro Creek, the trail got more difficult as we entered Saguaro National Park. The AZT winds through the desert filled with the iconic saguaro cactus. These cacti can live for 150 years plus and only start growing their arms after about 75 years. We continued past a landscape filled with a saguaro with a final descent into Colossal Cave Mountain Park and our campsite for the night.
Is that right when you enter the park?
Yeah.
Okay. Right after a big dime.
Day 4 starts with a rocky climb out of Colossal Cave Mountain Park. The first sections are similar to the end of Day 3 with sections of chunky limestone single track. But it's only a short section, and the trail definitely gets easier as we head towards Rincon Creek. The Arizona Trail continues winding through the Saguaro National Park, first on single track, then on an old double track road with some nice views of the Rincon Mountains. After a little more flowing single track, we entered the Saguaro Wilderness area and on to the Hope Camp Trail. Wrapped up day 4, and the Hermosa van is there to get us back to Tucson for the night before we head home. All in all, an excellent trip on the Arizona Trail.